Hey guys, it's Trevor Laird here and welcome back to Nimera Talk. Now this week we have some cool stuff. The giveaway is concluding today. That's $10,000 that's been given away by the Nimera team to get the swap up and rolling, so we'll see the results of that. We'll also talk about our past AMA, the future upcoming AMA, look at market news, and a bunch of other things. So let's not delay anymore and let's get started. Now, one of the first things I want to look at this week is the ongoing development updates that we've been getting from the team. These are excellent, and I hope these emails keep coming. So let's see what this week was all about. Okay, here we go. Dev update number 2 that was released on the 18th. Now, the first thing that they have on there is showing Nimera swap here. So a whole pile of fixes that are going down. So obviously, these fixes were probably found by the team or reported by you. Whenever you find something that's just not right, make sure to report it for the team because it will get fixed right away. And a flip button for new liquidities. So obviously on the swap, you can have one pair in two directions. So that just allows you to swap between it and minor fixes there. And of course, we have here for Nimera multi-broker. I'm hoping to see on here new pairs coming up for the multi-broker. It's still on that one initial pair and just a little fix that was done to the current one there. Of course, here for the blockchain, we have tokens. Shake and Milk 2 have been added. Now, as you guys know, if you watch this channel often, whenever we have an AMA, we like to go through all of the questions and kind of break it down one by one over the weeks. Now, over the last 2 weeks, we have had such amazing stuff happening with the Nimera project that we could not take the time to look at those AMA questions. We just did not have enough time with everything that was going on. So today we're going to resume that and look at the previous AMA questions. But before we do that, I want to talk about the upcoming new AMA. There's just so much going on. I mean, we were talking about multi-broker, we're talking about the swap, we're talking about the rebranding. All of this stuff kind of happened in November and December, and this is just huge. So we really need to sit down and talk with the CEO again. So I want to implore you guys, think about questions that you want to ask the Excudo CEO, Andrew Zamin, and get on Discord to the Nimera Weekly subgroup and put those questions in there, and I will compile another 10 questions that we can ask Andrew Zamin. So a few weeks ago, we looked at question number 3 from the last AMA, and that talked about the debit cards, and Andrew gave an answer on that. So now we're going to go into question 4, which just talks about the community. Now, the question itself was, will the community move to channels in the future? Now, as you know, we use Discord as our main chat group for the Nimera community. So the Discord is great. It works for what we need it to do. But the question is, will we move everything over to channels? Basically, the answer from Andrew Zamin was currently the development plan talking about having a desktop client for chat for channels is not really something that's going to happen very soon. They're talking 6 to 12 months away. They will have a desktop client for channels, and then that would make more sense to have it integrated with the chat. But he does go on to say that if this is something that the community really does want, we want to get off Discord, we want to be on our own native platform, then they will make that move earlier if the community wants it. So it's really up to you guys to say, what is the most important thing for the development team to work on? I would say this is not a major issue. If it's 6 to 12 months from now that we have a native desktop client for channels, that's probably better off for the developers, in my opinion, to focus on actually things like, Nimera or Nion 2.0 and all of these other blockchain things that they're working on, and integration with multi-broker and stuff like that. Discord works just fine for now, but again, it's up to you guys. I think channels right now, if we were trying to swap over to channels for our chats, then this is really going to be limiting us because we want new users to be able to come in who might not necessarily have our software yet. So since the other one was pretty short anyways, we'll do number 5 as well. Now, we did do this AMA before the rebranding, so I will replace any of the old names with the new ones, okay? Number 5 asks, as a new user, what do you think is the most attractive reason for me to buy EON? Is there a reason I should buy a lot of EON? And I'm just going to read Andrew's answer verbatim here. He says, to be fair, right now you need to be a very careful and cunning investor to understand Nimera's strategy. We are working to make the milestones more clear, and I will try to explain about Nion. Nion properties, utilitarian, which is an interest to developers, and financial, for those who want to bet on passive income, put in brackets, parentheses here, After the publication of the project, everything will be clear, but for now, he cannot disclose too many details, and this is going to be more true of Nion 2.0. So basically, what he's saying here is that when we come with the new iteration of the blockchain, Nion 2.0, there is going to be more utility for the EON token, which will generally natively increase its value. Okay, this is going to be a longer episode, so we will do this part really, really quick. So if this is your address up on the screen right now, you have won $25 worth of Nion. I'll be sending that to you over the next few days. Now, as the title suggests, the contest for the $10,000 USDT giveaway is over, and let's see what the results were for that and the results for the swap. So here we go. The giveaway is pretty much done. So basically it started on the 1st and ran till today, the 20th. You basically got a point for every 100 euros of liquidity that was provided, and you have to keep it in there until the 30th, and then they will calculate out that USD and pay it out. Now you will see, of course, looking down here that it's blank, and that's because today was the cutoff. So let's see what this really actually generated as far as liquidity goes. If we go up here to the swap and then go statistics, it's going to pop us over there. So we can look and kind of hover our mouse over top of the different tokens, or we can go to the pools themselves that tightens it up a little bit and look at the liquidity. So you can see here 24-hour liquidity. And if you go to tokens, you can see liquidity of the pool in a 24-hour volume too, but it's not like it's just that 24 hours of what occurred on it. So we didn't have $45,000 of liquidity in 24 hours. This is just a total liquidity sitting there based off 24-hour average. So in DAI, we had 45,000, 68,000 euros here, 10,000 euros, 24,000. And this is where it starts to get nuts. If you go over to Wrap Bitcoin, 119,000 euros, okay? And some smaller pairs there. So really what you're seeing here is in the first month of the swap launching, it generated, by having this contest, we were able to put like 250,000 euros in here. That is insane. That is, it's not multi-millions, but this is a very successful start to the pool. And I have personally, I'm going to think here that even after the 30th, a lot of people are going to keep a ton in here because it's just a great way to have it sit here and earn passive income. So good job to the team on the swap. It works really, really well. It's very easy, and the liquidity is starting to look really, really good, and I hope that it continues on this trend. Now it's time to head over and do that Nimera ecosystem health check and market news. Okay, looking at the health check here, all systems are operational. That's fantastic. We did have some planned maintenance on the 17th, but everything is pretty good there. Moving on to the exchange. Now, of course, we have to start out looking at EON, which will soon be Nion. I just, to be honest, I kind of wish that they would just change all of these old logos off. I know they want to avoid any confusion, but it might be better just to do it in one foul swoop and get rid of any Excudo or EON or anything like that and just get to Nimera and Nion. So basically what we have here is a big swath of trading. Now, if we go up, we're going to start here. Obviously, we're on USDT. But if we go over to BTC, we're going to see here that there is basically a swath of between 500,000 EON per BTC all the way up to 1 million. So this is really not able to determine any sort of value. And of course, the value of BTC has gone crazy. Actually, take a look up the buying book there, the selling book there. If you want to buy any EON on this book, you're really going to get down to about the 480 level here, and you can see also around the 350 there's some for sale. But these books, guys, are just razor thin, and it does continue, like the razor thinness does continue down to the other inverse pair here, where again, like there's not really a ton available on either side. Now onto the fiat side of it, we can see here that we had a buy in there at about 3.7 cents. That seems to be all bought up. But wow, if you look up the people who are actually willing to sell their EON, it's like there is almost nothing available here before it jumps to 14.50, 45 euro cents per EON. Like there's nothing available in this price range. It's really, really crazy. I think that we have the opportunity here to go parabolic, and it's really similar if you look over at the USD side. There is just not, there's a little bit more here, but there's just not a lot available before you start getting into way higher numbers. Now, the one thing I really want to focus on with EON is looking, well, Nion. Geez, I just want to say Nion. I say EON by mistake all the time. But yeah, we got to change these logos so I don't make the mistake. But the one thing I really wanted to focus on with Nion was going over and checking out what's happening with Nion on the swap. Now, the swap for each of its tokens has one of these little pages, okay? You just click the logo and you're able to get it. Now, as you guys know, there's an interesting pricing model that is used by the amount of swaps that people have from one currency in the pair to the other. That affects the price. So, of course, if we were to buy a bunch of Nions right now on the swap, that would really influence the price to go up steadily. But the one interesting thing I want to focus on here is not the price, because as we can see, the order books are razor thin all the way across, and the trajectory for Nion is clear. It's up, and it's going to be up fast. Now, we had 916 euros in 24 hours, and you can see that we had double that the 24 hours before. That is really, really good. So 8 transactions here, and the liquidity is solid for both BTC and Nion. Now, if you actually click into the pair there, we can see what transactions occurred on the pair. So you can see here there's 1.29 million currently EONs to Nions available and 1.75 BTC. Great liquidity there. So what we can look at here that I really want to focus on is how many people are actually selling their EON into this, because obviously people have complained in the past that there's not a lot of that they can't sell their EONs because there's not enough volume to support. Now, there's 1.75 BTC of volume available here. There's plenty available. And you can see here by the behavior that people actually aren't selling. They're just not. And the reason why is because it would be crazy to sell your EONs right now or your Nions. It would be crazy to do it because the upward trajectory and the amount of growth that we can have is just so obvious. So we can see here that people are actually swapping fairly large amounts for EON. And there's a couple here where people are selling, 5,000, 6,000 or so. But the overall trajectory, especially this is a good one here around 1,800 euros, the overall trajectory is obvious. People are getting their hands on as many of these as they can afford, and that is a good thing. So we have to kind of look at what's happening on the exchange, but also look at the bigger picture of what's happening on the swap and the new metrics that are happening there. Now on to our global market news. Whoa, look at that. It is amazing. There is a massive bull run that we have been talking about. It's been coming for months, and it is here. And even when people think it's done, it doesn't seem done, does it? Now, normally I would do all of this market news in front of the green screen, but as you guys know, I had laser eye surgery last week, and the lights are I'm still a little bit light sensitive, so I did a little bit less green screen this week, and I'll try to get back in front of the camera a bit more next week after that. But BTC, 23.92% at the time of filming. ETH at 10% up. Now, of course, if we look today in the one-day chart, this takes a second. There's a slight correction on BTC. It had hit over $24,000 there, and a bit of a bigger correction on ETH. These corrections are totally normal because you'll have not just short sellers, but you're also going to have swing traders that want to take profit, and that's totally fine. But if we look at the bigger picture of it, wow, incredible all-time highs. And of course, I mean, I don't see this correcting down under 20 personally, but this, BTC, it is not a predictable animal, and big players can make big moves. But I do think that we did have a good disbursement throughout this whole period where a lot more people got their hands on BTC. And that, of course, will spread things out and less whales affecting the price. And, of course, with ETH, that's probably the same way across the board. So you can see that everything kind of follows its same trend line here. Now, would I say BTC is a good buy right now? It has a higher sustained level of risk whenever it has achieved an all-time high. So your chances, like some users have pointed out in Discord, your chances of doubling your money with BTC right now, which doubling your money is a crazy metric, are less likely. It's more likely that Nion's going to go to 10 cents over BTC going to 50 grand, you know? So it has to be kind of how you want to do it, but there are acceptable levels of risk. And as these things do dip, I would say if you had something like a 3 to 4% correction or even a 5% correction, then that would definitely be a good buy the dip kind of strategy. Okay, guys and girls, that's all I have for you for this week. Now, I did not forget to talk about channels. There's a massive new update for channels with the whole interface there, and I would love to review it for you, but I am an iOS user, and currently it's just out on Android. So the second it comes out on iOS, I will be reviewing that soon. Now, if you haven't, guys, yet, please like and subscribe to these videos. It helps the YouTube algorithm to share this with other people who are interested in new cryptocurrency projects, and we definitely want that because there's so much room for growth, and anyone who's buying Nions right now is going to be a very, very happy camper. Thank you guys so much for watching. For Nimera Talk, I'm Trevor Laird.